Lesson number 2, Mathematical Language and Symbol Mathematical Logic. So, what is a mathematical language? It is a system of communication about objects like numbers, variables, sets, operations, functions, and equations. It's a collection of both symbols and their meaning shared by a global community of people who have an interest in the subject. It is a universal language, the only one shared by all human beings, regardless of culture, religion, or gender. Not everyone can be proficient in English, French, Chinese, or Japanese, but most possess math literacy. This shared language, called numeracy, connects people across continents and through time. So we use mathematics in our everyday lives. And when we transact in a bank or just simply riding in a jeepney, you will pay your fare to the jeepney driver, and the jeepney driver will give your change. So that is already communicating using mathematical language. Or even when you buy in a grocery store and as you pay in the cashier, you're transacting with him, the cashier. So you're using mathematical language. So all the people all over the world can understand math, but not all can understand other languages. Elements of the mathematical language. Mathematics uses many of symbols like decimal system, 0 to 9 digits. Then the operations in math, the basic operations, already the plus, minus, times, divide. And the variables representing unknown values like x, y, z, and so on and so forth. And we have other special symbols like equal sign, less than, etc. And we know we use ABC for constants, fixed values, and XYZ for variables, unknowns. Logic. It is the basis of all mathematical reasoning and of all automated reasoning. More likely, logic is being used by computer science, but all of us should possess logical mind. So propositional logic, or PL, is a part of logic which deals with statements that are either true or false, but not both, called proposition. Okay? So what is a proposition? It is a declarative sentence that is either true or false, but not both. So to distinguish proposition, you should recall the 4 types of sentence. The declarative one, pasalaysay. Imperative 1, pautos. Interrogative, patanong. Exclamatory, padamdam. So declarative sentence is a sentence that ends in period, just a narrative, giving a statement in narrative form. Like the current president of the Philippines is Rodrigo Duterte. That is a declarative sentence. Imperative 1, it shows command or request. Close the door, turn on the lights. Open the window. So, if I say those, they are not propositions because they are not declarative sentences. Another one, interrogative. Do you love me? Are you single? Somatically, they are not propositions because they are asking questions. Then, exclamatory. Yay, no classes tomorrow. Yippee! Ouch! So those expressions are not declarative sentences because they are exclamatory sentences. But a proposition can be also false, like God does not exist. The earth is flat. So they are also considered as proposition. They are declarative sentences. Examples. Manila is the capital of the Philippines. Mathematics is an easy subject. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Even mathematical sentence can be considered proposition, like equations. 3 plus 3 equals 4. So all of these are propositions. We may say that 1, 2, and 3 are true, whereas 4 is false. Logical connectives. So they are symbols that may be used to a single proposition or to connect 2 or more propositions, compound propositions. So when we say single proposition, we are just referring to a simple sentence. Payak na pangungusap. If I say, you are beautiful, that is a proposition. And then, If I say, you are beautiful and I like the way you smile, so that is already a compound proposition because I connect two sentences using the conjunction "and" at in Tagalog. So I'm going to discuss to you the 5 logical connectives one by one: the not, negation, and conjunction or disjunction, if then conditional statement, and if and only if biconditional statement. Negation. The symbol that we're going to use for negation or not is this symbol like this. So, para siyang L na nakahiga and this curl. Example, let P be the proposition she is beautiful and not P be the proposition she is not beautiful. So, when you see this symbol, you read this as not P. Okay? So, that's the negation. P stands for a proposition, she is beautiful. Then when you negate, she is not beautiful. You cannot answer that she is ugly. That's wrong because that's referring to English. We're referring to mathematical logic. So you need to use negation symbol, negation words like not, no, to negate a statement or proposition. Another example, let S be the proposition, he loves her. So how about not S? How are you going to negate that sentence? So when you negate, you will write, he does not love her. That's the correct answer. You need to use a modal, does, then followed by the negation not, and the next following verb should be in present plural form. This love. It is in plural form because it's written without S. Then it's in present form, tense of verb, because it's not with D at the end. Loved, past tense. So let us recall all the modal supporting verbs that we can use to negate propositions. What are those? So we have present form. We have also past form. Then in present form, we have singular, plural. For the most common modal, which is does, singular form, then do, plural form. Both of them are in present tense of verb. Then the past form is did. Okay? So does agrees with a singular noun or pronoun, like teacher does, she does, he does. Then do agrees with a plural noun or pronoun, like teachers do, they do. But the did past tense form can agree to singular or plural noun, like teacher did, teachers did, they did, he did, she did. All of them are correct. And other modals that you can use is can. Okay? Past form could. Then will. This will is future tense of verb na yan. Then past form niya would. Then we can also use shall. Then past form should. Then we can also use may or must. Past form might. So these are the modals that you're going to use when you negate a proposition. So another example, given this one, let T be the proposition, she came late this morning. So how are you going to negate this? Not T. So when you negate, first observe your verb in your given proposition, came. So past form. Then our pronoun here is singular form, she. So when you negate this, you will write she, because this is in past form, so you will use the modal did. She did not come late this morning. So this is the correct answer. Why? Why the next verb should be in present plural, come? Because grammatically, we have here already the past form of verb that agreed with this pronoun she. She did not come. Hindi mo naman pwedeng sabihin she did not came kasi parehas past. Pag nag-past form ka na ng verb, automatically yung next verb mo, laging present plural. Basta gumamit ka ng modal ng lahat ng mga ito na nakikita nyo sa right side. So, I hope you follow. Negation, it has a true table. But before I proceed, if I say let P be the proposition, there is an apple in the basket. If you negate that, not P, there is no apple in the basket, like that. There is no. Or another example, if I say let P be the proposition, there are students inside the room. If I negate it, there are no students inside the room. Okay? So this truth table for negation, let the first column be represented by proposition P, followed by the next column, not P. And then we have here truth table. So truth table for true or false. T stands for true, F stands for false. So if your statement is true, if you negate it, it should be false. If your statement is false, if you negate it, it should be true. Example, God exists. So that is true. That is a proposition. And if you negate, God does not exist. And we know that's false. Next one. Proposition which is false, elephants can fly. If you negate it, elephants cannot fly. And that's true. Conjunction. N. The symbol for N is inverted B, as in victory, like this. Okay? So you need to have two propositions. Every letter starting capital P stands for a sentence, declarative sentence that is either true or false, or a proposition. Then because we're using conjunction, we need to have another sentence represented by Q. And I will write here at the middle this symbol. So when you read this as PNQ. Okay? Example. Let P be the proposition Jake loves Asha. Let Q be the proposition they are engaged. So how are you going to write this? P and Q. So substitution. So Jake loves Asha. And they are engaged. Okay. Jake loves Asha is your P. Then this N symbol, inverted B. They are engaged is your Q. Oh, you translated the symbol into a verbal sentence. How about this one? Not P and not Q. So how are you going to change into verbal sentence or English statement? So as you change, negate first P. So you may say, Jake does not love Asha, and they are not engaged. Okay? Jake does not love Asha, negation of P. Then this N, symbol inverted B, they are not engaged, is your not Q. What if I will write at the bottom another example, but I will give a verbal sentence, you will change into symbol. If I will write here, Jake loves Asha, and Jake does not love Asha. So how are you going to change this into symbol? So the representation of Jake loves Asha is P. So just write P. Then the word N, symbol inverted V. Then Jake does not love Asha is the negation of P. So write negation of P. So this is the final answer. P and not P. And then this conjunction has a truth table also. It has 3 columns table, where in the first column representing P given by true, true, false, false. Then second column is Q, true, false. And the answer is P and Q, true, false, false, false. So what do you notice? So when you explain or understand this one, you should read this across. So when you read true and true, the answer should be true. Then true and false, the answer should be false. False and true is false. False and false, false. So, conjunction, the concept of conjunction, it will just become true. The answer will become true if both the statements are true. That's why in here, isa lang yung naiba dito. True and true equals true. So, dun lang siya magiging true pag conjunction. Pag parehas true, true. Otherwise, all the results are false. Always bear that in your mind. Conjunction definition using truth table. So let's proceed in this junction, the third one, or. Symbol for or is like V as in victory. So you need to have two propositions again with this symbol at the middle. And when you read this as P or Q. Example, let P be the proposition you pass the exam and let Q be the proposition you fail the exam. So P or Q, you write this as you pass the exam or you fail the exam. I just translated the symbols into words given the representation above. And then it can also be written as either you pass or fail the exam because as you notice, redundant yung pagsulat ko ng you. So pwede mo siyang pag-isahin. You used this either or. And they are also correct. So either you pass, so this is your P, or symbol like this, fail the exam. So this is your Q. So still the same P or Q. And this disjunction has a truth table also. Given by this 3 columns table. First column P, true, true, false, false. That are given. Matic yon. Then second column Q, another sentence of yours. True, false, and the answer should be this. The last column P or Q. So ano lang na iba dito? Look at this one. So to recognize disjunction or, the result will just become false if both the statements are false. That's disjunction. Okay? So disjunction siya, magiging false lang yung resulta pag parehas false, otherwise true. So ang pattern natin, pag true or true equals true, true or false equals true, false or true equals true, false or false equals false. Conditional implication. If-then statement, the symbol you're going to use is this arrowhead pointing to the right. So you need to have, again, two propositions connected by this. And when you write this, read this, if P, then Q. Okay? So conditional, meaning you have a condition in every action. Let's say, for example, if I like you, then I will marry you. So I need to like you first before I marry you. That's the condition. Liking you. Implication. It leads to something. Let's say, for example, if I say, if you exercise regularly, then you will become fit. Or if you eat vegetables, then you will become healthy. So, eating vegetables implies what? Becoming healthy. It will lead you to becoming healthy. So, that's implication. Example, let P be the proposition, it rains, Q, I will stay at home. So, then if P, then Q, as you write this, if it rains, then I will stay at home. Okay? It rains here is your P. Then the if-then statement is your arrowhead pointing to the right. I will stay at home is your Q. You translated correctly into verbal sentence, our symbols. Then how about this? How to read this? If not P, then not Q. If you translate this into English statement, it will become, if it does not rain, then I will not stay at home. Okay? It does not rain is the negation of P. Then the if then, as I've told you, arrowhead pointed to the right, I will not stay at home is the negation of Q. So you complied with your symbols, not P. If not P, then not Q. What if I will give you another example here? I will write my example. English statement translated into symbols. If I say, if it does not rain, then it rains. This is my example. So how are you going to translate this into symbols? So it does not rain. We will just use P here. Look at the representation above. So negation of P. If then statement siya, so arrowhead pointed to the right, then it rains. It rains, the representation is P. So the final answer should be not, if not P, then P. So this is the correct one. Okay? Then we have a truth table for conditional implication. So you need to remember this. This is very important because as we proceed at the end of this, there is an exercise wherein you will answer 5 questions true or false applying this. Truth table for implication conditional statement. So same thing, first column P, true, true, false, false, second column, true, false, then this one is the answer. If P, then Q, true, false, true, true. So ano lang na iba dito? This second row. So itong definition ng conditional or implication statement, if then statement. It will just become false if the premise is true followed by the conclusion false. Or if the hypothesis is true followed by the conclusion false. So true, false, false. TFF. Otherwise, the rest are true. Kasi true, true equals true. False, true, true. False, false, true. Yung iba niyang ka-row. Let's take, for example, if I say, if the gas is empty, then the car will start. So, no gas. And then you will say the car will start. Diba? It doesn't jive with our hypothesis or premise. Hindi sila nagtutugma. Wala na nga daw gas, tapos sa under pa rin. So, kaya false ang result. So, yun yung tinatawag na conditional. Na magiging false lang siya pag nauna true, sinundan ng false. Then, biconditional, if and only if statement using arrowheads pointing both sides. So, if I have here P, Q, two propositions connected by this, you read this as P, if and only if Q. Biconditional is the opposite of the conditional statement. If then yon, ito if and only if. Example, if I like you, then I will marry you. Pag ginawa ko siyang biconditional, I will marry you if and only if I like you. Another one, if you have faith, then you will be saved. Kapag may pananampalataya ka, ikaw ay maliligtas. So pag ginawa ko siyang biconditional, you will be saved if and only if you have faith. Maliligtas ka lamang kung may pananampalataya ka. So sila ay opposite. Yung if then, saka yung if and only if. Example, let P be the proposition, I will stay at home. Q be the proposition, it rains. Then P, if and only if Q can be written as, I will stay at home if and only if it rains. Okay? So, I will stay at home. This is your P. If and only if in symbol, arrowheads pointing both sides. It rains. This is your Q. So, you comply with your symbols. Correct. How about this one? You read this as not P, if and only if not Q. So, as you write the correct answer, I will not stay at home if and only if it does not rain. Okay? I will not stay at home. Stay at home is your not P. Followed by this if and only if arrowhead pointing both sides. It does not rain is the negation of Q. So, we write We wrote the correct answer. True or false, applying implication or conditional. So, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, na pag conditional, magiging false lang yung result pag nauna true if the premise or hypothesis is true followed by your conclusion false. So, TFF. Otherwise, lahat ng resulta ay true. Balikan ko yung true table. So, true, true equals true. Pag true, false, look at what I'm writing at the upper left. True, false, ito lang yung false. So, remember, then, if false, then true. So, this is still true. But if you have both false, so this is still true. Example, if the gas is empty, then the engine will start. So, we know the hypothesis or premise is already true. Then, you will say it will start. So, this is false. So, TF, false. Final answer is false. If 5 is greater than 6, then 5 minus 7 is greater than 6 minus 7. So, 5 is greater than 6. Yung daw bang 5 mataas na 6? So, automatically, this is false. This one. Then, 5 minus 7, what's the answer? That's negative 2. Is that greater than negative 1? And that is also false. Kasi alam naman natin, negative 2, mas malayo sa 0, from 0. So, mas mababa yung value niya. So, parehas false. Automatically, ang resulta ay true. At sundan nyo dito yung dun sa taas. Ito yung truth table ng conditional. Ito. Upper left. Next, if the earth is flat, then amphibians can fly. So, earth is flat is false. Amphibians can fly. We know amphibians are animals that can just survive in water and in land. So, they cannot fly like frog. So, false. Parehas false ulit. So, final answer is true. Then, if x squared minus 16 is equal to 0, then x is equal to 4. So, this is an equation. Automatically, an equation is always true, followed by x equals 4. This is also true. If I substitute 4 here in x, then it will become equal to 0. Tama ba? 4 squared is equal to 16 minus 16 equals 0. So, parehas naman tama. Tama yung value ni x. So, true, true, true. If 3 factorial is equal to 6, then 0 factorial is equal to 0. 3 factorial in probability statistics is equal to 3 times 2 times 1. The answer is 6. So, automatically, this is true. Okay, tama. Then 0 factorial is equal to 0. There is a rule that 0 factorial is always equal to 1. That is the rule. So, automatically, this is false. So, we have true, false. Automatically, the final answer in number 5 is false. So, 1 and 5 are false. The rest are true. That's the application of conditional or implication statement. Hope you've understood this already. Thank you, class.